On this empanada. Welcome back, guys.
Sorry. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Should I have clapped there? I'm Jared, and this is Santi. We're your
Bro, what's good with that?
Ahaha. Something brought you guys here, regardless of what it was. Either maybe it was the want to live a better, principled life, or maybe just the want to think about
Run it back, Quavo.
Alright. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the... Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Principal Paragon podcast YouTube. Fuck you, bro. Bro. Maybe that's the desire to learn something new. Maybe that's the desire to live a principled life.
Or maybe it's just desire to...
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Principal Paragon podcast / YouTube channel. My name is Jared. This is my good friend Santi. As always, we are your subpar hosts for the day. Obviously, something brought you guys here today. Maybe that's just the want to live a more principled life, or it's simply the desire to think about some fun or interesting topics.
Or it could be that you're just looking for some bullshit to, waste your time for the day.
Or that. That's always a possibility. So, pretty much on this show, we do our best to think about some random, fun, interesting topics, and then we kind of come to some conclusions about those topics, and we form some life principles based on the conclusions.
Yeah, the goal is we want you guys to be, thinking with us along this, journey that we have with you guys, and also to, get the brain juices flowing, just wherever you might be listening to, whether it's you're waking up for the morning or you're getting ready to go to bed, or just you're bored, like I said earlier, and you want to listen to something that will, get you pumped for the day.
Yeah, the goal really is to just get you guys thinking with us. So, it's going to shake the camera. But, topic of the day.
Topic of the day.
Which we're going to maybe form... No, this is are we doing a go-off session today?
Yeah, we're kind of doing a go-off.
We're kind of rant a little bit.
We're going to rant just a little.
So,
smidge.
What is the topic?
The topic?
It's going to be so awkward if you forgot the topic.
The topic is... No, I didn't forget.
Oops.
You want me to write it?
You can if you want.
I mean, nah. So the topic is actually expo markers.
No.
Nah, the topic we're going to be talking about today is the school system. Just how we feel about it, how they can change it to be more effective.
To be more specific, we're talking about the U.S. education system. We're just talking about
United States of America. Yes.
Thanks for clarifying.
All right. Yeah.
So we're just talking about pretty much just the public education system, like K through 12, or are we talking about higher ed too? It's funny because if we talk about higher ed, we're literally in
higher education.
Higher ed.
I think we can. I think we can go as far as the sky reaches with education. How we feel about college.
I have gripes with college.
I
don't know if I want to talk about this.
You
college.
said gripes?
Yeah. That's a word. Fuck you, bro.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a word.
What's gripes?
It's my problems with it.
It sounds like grapes.
I'm just gonna cut right there, and then I'm gonna come back in to me say that I'm gonna cut that.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it's a, and then I'm just.
Yeah, we're cut. All right. So yeah, should we just start with? I think K. Fuck.
All right. Just tell me what's your biggest gripe with the U.S. education system? If you had to pick one thing that you would change,
I hate, one thing that I can change. I think
if you could only change one thing.
If I can only change one thing. That also includes adding something, right? Let's say if I was I don't
take away, add, change.
Okay. I think I would add in an area that literally helped you on finances. Literally told you the ins and outs of finances, not college finances where it's here you're going to a business school or something like that. We're business students, not finance like that, but finance where it's just you were taught how to do basic accounting for yourself as an adult. Yeah. You were taught that you shouldn't right into college, get married or have a child, like these things, because they just something that is as simple as Rich Dad Poor Dad, if you guys ever read the book, where it literally the main point of that book is just have more assets than you do your liabilities. And you will be financially free. Doesn't mean you'll be rich, but that means that you can do more of what you want to do. You can go on vacation more. In fact, it won't even be vacation, because if you're living a financially free life, you'll already be happy, essentially. So you wouldn't need these vacation things like that.
It's
an
interesting idea.
My point is just adding a more an actual financial finances for the future or something like that. Something that is actually taught from literally when you're in kindergarten all the way to high school. Just kindergarten, they start off with just remember you want to save your money, and then elementary to intermediate school, they teach you something that my dad taught me was save whatever money you make, keep 10% of it in investments, donate this much percent, things like that. And then it's now you're in middle school, if you're thinking about buying a car because some of you guys are turning 16, just remember this and that, don't make your parents buy and then high school, start talking about imagine if we had that.
Yeah,
people would be going more into scholarships. People would be knowing what they're doing. People wouldn't be buying fucking stupid cars just because they're all I care about is popularity. Or something like that.
Just to build on that, I think that it should be required in high school for you to have physical evidence that you applied for scholarships before.
100%. I think that's you should at least apply, depending on it. You should apply to a certain number. Not an extreme number.
You gotta send
but,
three
I don't
applications.
think 3 is not enough.
Really?
I don't think, because think about the scholarships that you can go on FastWeb.
Maybe you do it by a certain because I would say either you have to apply for $5,000 worth of scholarships or 3 scholarships total.
I actually like the money idea better. I would do you have to apply for up to $10,000 in scholarships. Up to $10,000.
So you can't apply for more than $10,000.
You can, but it's
I would say that's
required, minimum. So let's say you do 10 1,000 scholarships and you submit it and they all get rejected, completely fine. At least you submitted enough money. You submitted enough submissions for scholarships. Oops. I'm losing it right now. My English is going out the verbal's coming at me. But you get my point. Yeah. So that's something I'd change.
I don't know if I would. I see. That's why I have a problem with the money idea, just because of the fact that I could literally only apply for one scholarship, and the scholarship is worth. Then I would just apply for one $10,000 scholarship, probably not fucking get it, and then be
okay, fine. So we'll change. This is mine. Okay, this is my idea.
You're right. This isn't even mine.
So I'm gonna change it because I get what you're saying now. Yes, you have to apply up to $10,000 in scholarships, or if one is 10,000, or if they're above $2,000, you have to apply to 5 or more.
And I don't want it. I wouldn't. I just would. I would. You'd have to set it up in a way that it doesn't discourage students from applying for smaller scholarships.
Yeah.
Because those are actually the ones that people get usually.
Yeah, the $300, $500
scholarships are always the ones that get put out the most.
Yeah.
And you're way more likely to get. Obviously, they only give a $10,000 scholarship to one kid, and that's out of thousands of applicants usually. So or hundreds, but regardless, I think that. It would have to be structured in a very specific way.
Yeah.
But I also I heavily agree that educating just the general population on how to live a financially free life, and that comes with some very blunt, by the way, things about just life. For instance, I don't say this in a mean way to anybody, but you are way more likely to live a financially free life in America if you don't have a child before a certain age.
Yeah.
Them shits cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to keep alive.
We cost a lot.
Just think
about yourself. Think about having to raise another you.
Yeah.
Which is sick. Yeah, I would love to have another me, but I also don't want to spend the money for me. One of the things that I tell Jared And you know, some of you guys might be like, oh no, you're just a single fuck. But like, I honestly, like, when it even comes with like relationships, for some reason I feel like if I get into a relationship, I feel like that's like another person that like, because think about all the things you buy for your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I definitely say, as fucked as it sounds, my girlfriend is low key a liability.
That's what I'm saying. So like, it's like,
She's
I feel like
bringing
you
me any
shouldn't
money
like.
right
I
now.
feel like it just doesn't make any sense in my eyes to date someone if I know that I'm not
Well,
financially free.
it depends on what matters more to you.
That's obviously my own own thing.
It's a choice.
But like,
It's like a work-life balance. It's a work-life
Yeah.
choice. It's your choice on as to whether or not you want to have the money first, or if you want to have the
exactly.
the
But that
girlfriend.
is something that you can like you can choose to do and
And
stuff
it's
like
it's
that.
shitty because it's seen today in America, and this is pretty off topic, but it's seen today in America as like as if you have to spend money on your significant other in order for for like a good relationship to go on.
Like
Completely false, by the way.
Exactly. If you didn't want to take like, and this would be again taught in the school. Like, let's say they're not like, they wouldn't be like, don't have a girlfriend, don't have a wife, like anything. Just don't buy a wedding, don't buy a wedding ring, like things like this. Like buy little minimum stuff because my sister and her boyfriend, they literally have been dating, no bullshit, for I think almost 6 to 7 years.
Yeah, that's a long time.
And they could have been married by now. They are
Yeah.
both grown adults, but they know that they are both going through college. Like, they both want to do their own thing. You know what I mean? Like, they love each other to death, but they know that, like, literally every time I ask her, like, why aren't you getting married? She goes, that's a lot of money. Like, she's like, you know, like, how much that would put me in debt? Like, more than I am already. Like, she's trying to be, like, go and, like, get her, like, she's getting, like, she wants to do, like, CAT scans and things like that. And then her boyfriend wants to be, like, a nurse and then a doctor. So, like, imagine how much money they're putting in debt for themselves right now. Because they want to be like, you know, the smart people. Sorry for all you guys that are like,
for all of you smart individuals out there, goddamn.
Yeah, fuck you guys. But yeah, like, I think like that would just benefit like kids so much, just knowing how to use your money.
Yeah, and I think so. Maybe if it was like maybe a mandatory class you have to take before, maybe like your junior, senior year, whatever high school, maybe you have to walk out of there with like a 5-year financial plan on things that you hope to do.
That'd be cool.
And like
budget plan.
Set. I don't know about. Maybe yeah. I mean, you could
good.
have like how much money you're making right now in high school and budget out how much you could spend in order to achieve your financial goals in the future. But also, I think that just having, which I guess budgeting is a financial habit, but having a set of habits that you must walk out of the class with.
Yeah, like
you know
they
what I mean?
like it's just something that like will just, and this is why they start at a young age. So it's just like, even if you're like just a kid, because you know there's like for me English, I'll be honest, I could just never pay attention.
That makes sense.
Like it was just.
Sorry,
Fuck you, bro.
I'm just gonna keep violating.
English, I just didn't pay attention too much, and like I didn't do well in it, like all through my years, like all the way up through high school. But there's still things that I remember, like I can still like go take an SAT. Shout out to the AFOK team, if anyone knows what that is. But I can still read a passage, you know what I mean, and like know how to like speed read it and like pull out information that like you know is important, things like that, like basic things that like you will learn at such a young age that like I've just picked up because I've had to do it so many times. Like imagine if like let's say out of everything that you got from you got that you just know. You should have a budget plan or a budget worksheet of just like, okay, if I make this much, like, and it's just something that you practiced in high school over and over again. And then then you also remember that I should always put 10% into savings and then 15% into investments and then this to donation and this to myself and then this to like all my liabilities. Like those two things alone, or like one of those things, that still is going to go so much further than people. I know people right now at this age that are our age that all they are is like they're spenders.
Yeah,
like they just all they do is
they never have money.
They literally go paycheck to paycheck. Yeah. Like they're not starving or anything. They just blow their money.
Yep.
And then they go like, okay, and they just rely on that they have the fact that they have a job. And it's like, okay, we understand that, but like, what if you get fired?
Yeah.
Like, and they just don't think of that. So
well, I mean, at that point, hopefully they would slow the spending down.
Yeah.
But you also are going to have, like, you also have to weigh the fact that, like, if you have, like, subscriptions or whatever, or liabilities that are recurring that you can't just straight up cancel like, in a month or whatever, which is unlikely usually. But let's just say you have things that, like you got bills to pay, right?
Yeah.
Like, you need a place to live. Like, you know, have certain things. Like, you need food, you need clothing, you need shelter, right? depending on how much money you're investing into all three of those things, you could really fuck your life up if you all of a sudden lose your job and all those liabilities are still coming at you and you're like, wow, I don't have the money to pay for this.
Yeah. So it's because you bought like the new iPhone.
Like one good financial habit to always have is to have some sort of buffer of money to always fall back on. Like always have a couple K that you can be like, all right, worst case scenario, you get fired, you can survive for a month or two.
Yeah, at least a month or two.
With no job.
Yeah, absolutely. Going off that though, what would you take away, change, or add in to the education system?
But I think so. We earlier when we were thinking of topics to talk about, we talked about if knowledge is intrinsically valuable of anything is intrinsically valuable, or if it's the practicality, the usefulness of the knowledge that you've gained, that actually makes it worth anything. And I personally came to the conclusion that it's the usefulness of the information. Because otherwise, what you're going to do, in my opinion, is you're going to spend a whole bunch of time. Maybe let's just say you spend 5 hours learning a subject. This is an exaggeration. You spend 5 hours learning a subject, and then you're like, all right, cool, I learned this thing.
Yeah.
And then you don't use that thing for 3 years or ever.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you don't use the thing that you learned, it's
you wasted your time.
Use it or lose it, right? Like you basically wasted 5 hours of your life learning something for no reason at all. And that to me is a pretty good summary of what like most of school is in the US. And I'm sure for a lot of around the world
today.
A good
example is geometry. Like there's a lot of
I've used geometry though.
When?
I don't remember.
There's literally very few cases that you use geometry.
I was gonna say there are definitely some topics in geometry that I've had to use.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, if you're building something, like at home, and you just have like a ruler and things like that, or what is it called? Why can't I remember it? The fucking half circle. You know what I'm talking about? The half circle.
That's so awkward. Why am I?
We're cutting this. Anyway, no, I'm joking. But like things like that, or like angles and everything like that, and like knowing like the like what's perpendicular, what's not. Like okay, some of that is important, but like not really at the same time. Like over like I would put that under knowing how to go to a dealership and they go, okay, the car is $10,000 right now. It's officially $24K, but since you're taking out a loan for $10K right now and give me $10K, and you're gonna pay like the $500 month for this month, but every other month it's $200. How much is it until you get done spending it?
Well, that just comes down to simple algebra.
Yeah, but like I mean, like those were questions that we kind of like.
Yeah.
They were like, okay, like looked over. But I'm saying like that for me, that would be more in my finance aspect. Where like in finance class, it would be like, okay, we're coming. And it's like, all right, guys, you go to a store and like you have 20 shirts that are on the clearance section and like for 20% off, and you have $5. It's like, how much more money do you need so you can go buy the fucking t-shirt? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like something like that. Like I don't know. I think that's actually very useful. Like that's very. You know how many people can't do that? There's a lot of fucking people that can't just like they go over and they have to actually like either. Well, thank God we have phones. We have phones now that you could just like pull out your phone and go, oh, like this and like blah blah. But like some people don't even know how to plug it into the phone.
Yikes. Well, I don't know. I just very much am on this. I've been on this kick for a long time that as a teacher, you have two main jobs, in my opinion, and that is to clearly define what the end goal of the teaching will be and the path to that goal. So, for example, you should clearly state by the end of this class, you should have such and such skill that you can show me, that you can physically do. And B, the teacher's job is to bring the student along that path and help them along the way. Now, I think there's two kinds of students. I think there's the kinds of students that are going to say, oh, this is the path, this is the goal. and everything's done.
Yeah.
Right? All by themselves. They don't need any help, which is totally fine.
No,
if that's your pace, that's your pace.
Yeah.
If you want to go learn the whole fucking class and then just be like, all right, I'm going to chill for like a month because I'm done with everything.
Yeah.
If you can exhibit the skill that I want you to by the end of the class, I don't give a shit.
That goes, and real quick side note, that comes in, so there was this one time I was talking in my class about, and I brought this up to you, where there's people in certain businesses, you can't do this in all businesses, but in certain businesses, like let's say there's a project or something you need to do, literally workers will milk the shit out of it because they know that it's due in a week. They could probably get it done in 5 hours. If they hammered it in 5 hours, they could get it done. But since it's due in the week, they literally, for the whole fucking week, do that project. When they get there, when they leave, like go back repetitive for 7 days, and then they finally get it done. I would much rather, like, as a like manager, go, all right, guys, you have this project, go do it. It's due Saturday.
You're saying that like, they do that because they have like mandatory hours they have to be.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like if you just didn't have mandatory hours, like you just gave them like a task and they did it and they left, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. Because
you know what? They would probably kill it and be more passionate in it.
If my teacher said, "Yo, if you wanna, this is what we have to do for the day. If you do that shit and you can exhibit such and such skill by the end of the class, I'll sit up here. Any of you who have any questions, come up to me with questions.
Yeah.
Get that shit done for the class. Now, obviously, that's not what I would do. I would be a much different teacher. But, I mean, that's not necessarily an entirely bad thing.
No, like, literally for me, I will be honest, that's not me. Like, I wouldn't be able to, like, I'd be like, that is so good to know, but,
I'm going to need some help.
I'm going to need some help, all right?
Yeah.
So, like, and who knows, maybe that'd get me more one-on-one time, because there are kids that I know that they're there, and they won't take notes in the fucking class, and I'm just like, and then they get like 100. I'm like, what? Like, how?
Yeah.
How do you
some kids just retain information better than others.
Exactly, and I feel like there's no reason to hold that person back.
For sure.
Just because they're a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Just because they're faster than others doesn't mean that you should make them go at the same pace.
Just because they're faster doesn't mean that they're faster at everything.
And plus, it would also maybe motivate others to move faster and be more efficient.
100%.
Imagine if you did that as the teacher and you said, all right, listen, if we get such and such work done by the end of the week, we'll take a day off. If you get, all right, we have 5 things that we need to cover in five topics in 5 days. If we get 5 topics done in 3 days, you can have Friday off.
Or not even that. Let's take it a step further where it's just like, hey guys, this is the course syllabus, right? These are all the things we need to do. These are the days it's laid out. If you guys feel comfortable to like take a test early, this and that, you can finish the class literally tomorrow. If you guys for some reason all wanted to take like both tests, all the 4 quizzes I have for you, and the midterm and the final, you guys take all that tomorrow, and you finished it, and you passed it, and you're done with the class. You don't have to come for the rest of the semester. Like, I feel like there's no reason to not do that, and that will make people want to go faster because of the fact that, like, think about how many times you take a test, and like, you know, okay, there's people going up, more people go up, and then you realize you're like the last one there. At that point, you're like, fuck, I'm the last one. Like, some people, they'll like be like, whatever, fuck it, like, I don't care who leaves me. But there's some people that they're like, fuck, if everyone's leaving, I'm just going to finish this shit. And then
I've been there, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like you naturally want to just go at the same pace as others because we're social people.
Yeah, social animals. I mean, maybe that would make others feel kind of excluded just because of the fact that, like, they're like, oh, man, like, I just physically can't learn it that way. But, hey, I mean...
That's why the normal class is there for you, though.
Yeah, that's why the
teacher is still going to be there.
Yeah,
like the teacher is still going to be there. Like if let's say the teacher, which I don't think I would do this or I would want this, but let's say the teacher said, you specifically, if you want to take a test early and get it done, you don't have to come to class because we're going to be coming. So like let's say chapter 1 test is going to be 2 weeks from now, and you take it this Friday. So that means you don't have to come to school for the next 2 weeks, right? Or to that class for the next 2 weeks. Like, I wouldn't want to do that as a teacher because then that, like, there are going to be some kids that go, well, I can't learn that fast. That's unfair that they get to, like, do it. But then, in all honesty, too, it's like, well, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, let people do what they, like, that's going to make them, like, I feel like, one, do better.
Yeah, and I think, and when I say application of skill, I'd say 8 times out of 10, a test is not required. Tests should not be required. You should not be filling in a multiple choice
It should be almost like You go. I want to hear
I
what
would
you
much
have to
rather my pinnacle of what I think would be the greatest thing for the education system right now is for you, instead of having a test, maybe you have a quiz, right? So that to verify that you know some information as you're going along. But the pinnacle of what I think would be great is to say, all right, so you have math, science, English, I don't know, you're taking a programming class, like whatever. I want you to solve a problem using all of the things that you've learned in your classes.
To like critically think.
Yeah.
With
and
like the knowledge
exhibit
that you've
the
gotten.
skills that I've taught you or that you've taught
So
yourself.
it's almost like a presentation.
Not even a presentation. Like I would literally say, like, all right, find a problem.
Would you have
and
like
solve
a
it and
different
explain to me how you used your different skills that you learned in class.
And you just put them on the spot right there and then.
No. I mean, I would say you have so and so amount of time to do that. I would say that you have by the end of the semester to do this. As a class, we're gonna start working on this 2 months before it's due.
Yeah.
But if you're done 4 months in advance, all right, cool.
Yeah. Like if you
go ahead,
get
it done.
And like, what would they do? In my opinion, like, is it like a presentation? Like
you would have to present.
So this was the problem that I was given by Professor Cooper, and
you would have to present on how you used the skills, what the skills were that you were taught in class, and how you used them in the project. It doesn't have to be all of them, but it has to be whatever amount you want to exhibit.
And you do this for classes even like math.
Yeah. This would be the accumulation of all your classes.
What?
Yes.
So you literally would give them a problem, a real world problem, and be like, so it'd be almost like a capstone.
Pretty much.
That you like give to them.
Yep. At the end of every year in high school, I would give them that. Like freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. I would either let them pick a problem and have it approved by me.
How to
think about the amount of
how
shit
to put like
kids could
literature,
fix.
but imagine. Oh yes, that's the thing I'm liking because like imagine like you as a professor going, okay, I don't know how to like solve this at all, like this real world problem. I'm gonna give it to a student, and like as long as they and you're in your head, you're like they probably won't get it because I don't get it, so I'll give them this. But if they get over that, holy shit, like they just solved something.
Side note, I would put them in teams. This would not be an individual project.
Yes, because
there's team focused.
Because how many things do you do by yourself?
None.
In jobs, like
none.
There's very few jobs that you are literally doing something by yourself.
Yeah.
Like mathematicians, maybe like in certain aspects, but like even.
And this also is in my head.
Wow, I'm thinking about. Sorry to cut you off.
Good?
I'm thinking about all that would bring, all the good things that
that
would bring people to have to talk, and like that would introverts would be able to freaking present and talk to other people even if they're not interested.
You've been
in talking
training
to people
for it all throughout your high school career.
Yeah, and like I'm assuming that like, if you had that pinnacle, freaking all the way from K school, people would be learning how to present and socialize with each other.
Yeah,
I like this new school.
Me too. Plus,
we're gonna build this school of the future.
You would have real world problem solving skills, critical thinking skills, teamwork skills, the application of every STEM, STEAM, whatever the fuck the acronym is.
Yeah, STEM.
Well, they added arts or something like that to it. I think.
Of course they did.
And it's STEAM, and I think now it's STREAM, something else. I think they added reading, maybe. I don't know.
Whatever.
Regardless, it's the application of all of these different fields together to solve real world problems. Like I was saying, I was trying to say this earlier, but this sounds great in theory.
Yeah.
I don't know how it would work. I don't know.
That's
I don't know how it would actually work.
And would people even accept it?
I think people would accept it. I think as a student, I'd be like, fuck yeah, I'd way rather do that than waste my time in this class.
Yeah, but like...
Well, I would rather do that than have useless knowledge that I never even get to apply. That's what I don't like. That I really, really, really don't like, thinking about the fact that I'm learning something that I'm never going to use and therefore I'm wasting my time right now.
Yeah.
I only get one thing in life and that's my time. That is my most valuable resource. Yeah. And you are wasting that shit as a teacher if you're teaching knowledge that will never be used.
Yeah, you can save like money, you can save like old antiques, you can save like practically anything besides like just time itself, because time is not like a physical thing.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't save it. Like,
Well, it's an idea.
It's like, there's places, there's, like, you know, ideas, like you're saying, like, oh, I save time by, like, getting the work done early. But, like, I mean, like, like, physically save time. Like, no, like, you, if you have to use your time for something, like, that time is gone.
Yeah. But, I don't know. And personally, for me, in my, like, perfect vision of just, like, me as a teacher, I would want to be, like, a free, like, elective, like, business teacher where, like, you don't have to, like, I'm an elective, so you don't have to apply my skills, but I would teach some fun shit. Every
I'll
class,
be a real good teacher.
Every class, at the beginning of every class, my first goal would be student engagement. How am I going to engage students for this class? How am I going to put them in a good mood? How am I going to get them excited for what's coming next? And then I would ask them at the beginning of every class or at the beginning of every week, all right, class, the subject is business. What do you want to learn?
Yeah.
And at that point, the ball's in their court. They make the decision on what they want to learn, and they're going to be then, hopefully, more interested in what they're going to be doing. They can vote on as a class on what they want to learn. And you know what? If they're a bunch of dickheads and none of them raises their hand and gives me any ideas, I got a whole bunch of stuff I can teach y'all. Don't worry. We're going to learn something.
I was actually going to say, like, they have, like, literally, like, a whole coursework of things that they can learn, and they are given it as their, like, syllabus. Like, these are things that we can cover in topic. And it says we. Like, we can cover. We can go over, like, and like, on how you're doing it, technically it wouldn't matter what they learn and what they don't learn because it's just, like, it'll all be applied eventually at the end. And they could literally just go, today, I feel finance. And some people are like, yeah, I don't care. Let's learn about, like, you know.
Like, what's finance? And I'm like,
finance.
What's finance?
Woo! And then you're like, yeah, that shit sucks. Let me do some math.
Sucks.
It's like, how many of you guys hate math? Well,
I just like write this big ass equation. I'm like, does that look like chemistry to you? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, it's not. It's literally business.
But no, I think that'd be cool. And like, you know what I was thinking? Because to do something like this, because I think I would personally, like, I know you want to do something around this line, like online or realistically at some point in your life, and I definitely
with like education.
Yeah, and like and I'd 100% be down to invest in it, right? And like, because you know, I think it would be fucking awesome. Yeah. My thing is though, I'm actually wondering, how do you where do you go through? Like, who do you go through saying like, hey, like these kids want to go through my curriculum? It's like, will colleges even accept your like, let's say like we're slowly making the transition, will colleges even accept your degree of like graduation of those students? Or
from the high school students that do the idea that we just talked about?
Yeah.
Honestly, why not? I think it's more valid than what they'd be doing in the modern day.
Like, it's just new. Like, you're just a new school, and like finally you have your first, like, after 12 years, you have your first like
generation of kids that did this, whatever.
Generations of kids that did this, and they go to apply to colleges, and colleges are like, well, what the fuck
I think the
you?
proof will be in the pudding, you know? The proof, I mean, if they, passed their SATs, whatever, and they, I don't know if the SATs would be relevant. Probably they still would be. I think that, to be honest, if you structured school in that kind of way, and you said, all right, look, these are the skills you need to apply and do them together. That's hard, right? Yeah. Like, that is difficult to do and would take a lot of brain power to do, which is good. I think that they would be more equipped to actually go take the test then, regardless of what it is. And then at that point, I still don't think SAT scores are that relevant to college applications today.
They're trying to prove that it isn't already.
Yeah. I mean, it says something, but it should not be the whole pie.
Yeah.
It should be a slice.
It should not be like, wow, this kid has a shit SAT score. He's never coming to the school.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If you have a kid that straight up has done, like, all this shit throughout high school, and, like, they have, let's just say they do what we do, we were saying, where they have to solve these problems. If
like
you look
capstones,
and they put that on their like college application. They're like, yeah, I solved these 4 huge ass problems with the team,
and I literally have the presentation to prove
I had real world impact on my community and fixed shit. But my SAT score is like a 980 or whatever. That's the old one. Whatever. No, let's just all right. My SAT score is a 600. Either way, you're fucked.
Holy shit.
My SAT score is a 600. The college should be like, all right, the SAT score is worth 10% of what we evaluate. Mm-hmm. Even if you get a 600 and and your other shit looks really good, I think you should still be able to go to college. Like you,
I 100%
you have
agree.
to want to further your education.
I'm just saying, like, I feel like it would definitely, like, as it starts out, it would be very, like, those students would just have to be told, like, listen, if any of you guys are thinking about Harvard, Princeton, like, all these Ivy League schools, like, just know that we're the first high school that, like, is actually teaching you guys this way. So when you go, it's going to be, like, a different ball game completely.
Yeah.
When you go.
And that, hopefully, it would start happening in universities and stuff like that.
I don't know. I think it would just be very hard to implement because, like, you would have to implement, like, K through 12 and then a college also because to accept those students.
Hear me out on the higher ed conundrum.
Okay.
Going out right now. Within the next couple decades, people are going to start realizing that what they are paying for
is not worth it.
The hundreds of dollars that you're paying for 3 credits.
Hundreds of dollars, I wish.
The thousands of dollars that you're paying for 3 credits at your universities. You could learn more all on your own time, on a fucking Udemy course for $12.
Jason, I don't think would mind. Jason, he was on the podcast before. He has a brother that wanted to be a physicist. And this dude, I literally can name things out of, like, physics books, and it's just perfect. Like, can just say them.
Yep.
Like, these definitions. Doesn't go to college or anything.
Yep.
And he's like, and his thing is, his motto is, why go to college when I can learn it out of a book?
Yep.
My opinion, I go, well, you can't be a physicist without going to college.
Mm-hmm.
But he enjoys literally just sitting there and learning about physics on his own time. I find that, like, amazing.
Yeah.
Like, he should be probably.
That's how I am. I just know that in order to in the way society's working today.
Yeah, you can't do that.
It helps a lot if you have a degree.
Yeah, it helps a stupid amount, which is.
And there is definitely something to be said about the grittiness that you need to get through college. There's a certain level of just mental
But I feel like
they
found, like, because college is a business. I feel like they just found something to, like, milk it, and they're like, oh, like, you guys should hire these students, and, like, you know, they make sure that whenever you hire people, they have to go through college, and they just they don't only go through college because we show that, like, they went through 4 years of high education, of hard work, and, like, it's
just
like
jerking themselves
just
off.
bullshit. Like, it's literally college. It's literally college is high school, just a tad bit harder. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's some aspects of it, like, where if you're going into engineering, pharmacy, things like that, very hard. Like, it turns to another ballgame. But in all reality, it's not that much harder from from high school.
Yep.
And it's like universities jerk themselves off going like, oh, it shows that you can actually stay through a 4-year program like this and that. And it's like, bro, I feel like there's other ways to show that, like, someone knows what they're doing.
You want to fix the student fucking debt problem in the U.S.? Literally, cut the gen ed bullshit. If the public education system wasn't such ass, we wouldn't need that.
Yeah.
You could cut that, save students thousands
the gen eds
right
that
there.
we take right now don't even help students.
Facts. Facts. They're still bullshit, just so everyone's clear.
Yeah, and you pay, like, freaking what, up to, like, $500-$600.
It's ridiculous. I wouldn't know, but
yeah,
it's still ridiculous. I think what universities are going to start moving towards, I think, if I could build my own university right now, I would have no gen eds. If the public education system, if the public education system was the idea that we had earlier, then I would have no gen eds. Because it is shit the way it is today.
Okay, but
I would
your
have
college is probably gonna be lit. So I was like,
my university would then apply the idea that I had for the gen eds, right? Where you have to use all the different STEM fields together and solve a problem, right?
That, actually.
So maybe you get that all done freshman year.
Yeah.
Cool. You've officially exhibited the fact that you can apply skills and you have the want to learn more. Cool. Sophomore through senior year, however, you are going to pick a major and build your own degree.
Yeah.
Via different certificates that you're going to get by the end of every class.
Yeah.
In order to get a certificate at the end of every class, you have to exhibit the skill set that you were required to learn for that class.
I freaking love that.
Yep.
Like, imagine, like, going and taking accounting and not just sitting there through a test. They just give you, like, an actually long problem, very long problem, but it's just actual accounting in real life. And it's no, like, you can do it on your paper. Like, no, you can use Excel. You can use, like, things that actually you do in the real fucking world.
And this isn't, like, I mean, it's technically a project, but it's something that you would have to practice for.
100%.
It's something that you literally, and I guess that's pretty much what studying is at this point, but it's something where you have the book says the topic. You don't understand the topic, you have the teacher. Worst case scenario, you say, hey, so-and-so teacher, I don't understand this. They then teach that to you.
Yeah.
And then you go home and you practice. Your homework is just pretty much to practice for the final.
Yeah.
At all times. So you're just building your way up to the final. And that's how most classes technically are structured today. Yeah. Do they do the job well? I completely disagree. I think that the way that the teachers test whether or not you're ready for the final, which is also just a fucking multiple choice test, is with other multiple choice tests. Granted, hey, I could literally know nothing and just get mad lucky and get like an 80 on each test.
Yeah.
Unlikely, but I also think that if you let's just say in accounting classes you usually do this. You actually have to get the income sheet or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you have to actually like see the problem and then fill it in or whatever. Yeah.
But that's how it is with it. But like that's for like more math and things like that, which that's
things that
understandable.
It's way easier to apply the skill.
Exactly.
In maybe an international business class.
Like no, let's go over philosophy. Like you should not be taking at any fucking test in that class. You should literally be making up your own, I don't know, philosophical topic based on other. Yeah.
Or if your philosophy class is on a certain topic, right? So like I'm in a class called like Happiness and the Good Life right now. In my opinion, the best way to to exhibit the fact that you learned something in this class would be to write a paper or something, because that's a lot of what philosophy is. It's just writing is just another way of thinking.
Yeah.
So maybe you just write a paper, and that's like I said earlier, like the 8 times out of 10 it's something different. But those 2 times out of 10, it might be a paper or a test, whatever, right? So, anyways, the paper would be on what do I think now on what happiness is, how do you get it, how do you achieve the good life. So, out of all the things that we've learned in the class, what would I apply to my life and why?
That'd be very cool.
I see nothing wrong with that at all as like a final.
And you literally would have to use all the information you learned in class to even talk about it.
Exactly. Like, and I'm intrigued. I'm like, oh shit! Like, this is you're telling me the things I learned in class are relevant to my life.
Yeah.
In a happiness and the good life class, I think it's easier to see
obviously
something like that.
Obviously, there's going to be other ones that are going to be a little bit more difficult to like over. But still, the point is that you're going to be able to apply it to real life scenarios that involve yourself, because that's also another problem too. Like, let's say you don't see yourself being like an English major, and let's say like we had the perfect public school and you were already taught like all these papers and everyone's just proficient at writing. When you go to college, you should not have to take a fucking let's go over English again. It's like, no, like I was already taught that in high school. If you're going to teach me something new, okay, understandable. But if you're going to teach me the same exact bullshit from college or from high school, then, like, don't teach it at all. Yeah. You know what I mean? And obviously that's, like, if the public education system was perfect. It's not. But, again, like, even the gen eds now, I feel like they're just exactly, like, replicated from what we learned in high school. So, and we're paying money.
Yes.
For shit that, like, I learned in high school.
To go back to the whole high school thing as well, I think it should be way more focused. High school specifically. I think K through 8th grade should be nothing but gen eds. Swear to God. Nothing but that. However, the moment you get to high school, it should be nothing but preparing you for A, how to live your life well.
Yeah.
B, finding out what the fuck you want to do with your life.
Yeah.
Because the amount of kids that walk out of high school that think they want to know what they want to do for the rest of their lives, or they really have no clue.
They are just, it's not even that they think or anything. They are forced into
or they're just like, man, that's like, I would like this. And then they go to school, waste thousands of dollars on classes that they didn't need, and then change their major.
Yeah. And you know what? At this point, sometimes I will argue that they don't even waste their money sometimes on, like, other classes. Because there's like, let's say for, like, business, right? So we had IME. What other classes do you remember having, like, fall semester for business?
Nothing. IME is the only class we have. Oh, for a full semester?
Yeah.
Or a full year?
Wait, did we have anything spring semester?
Because IME was 2 semesters long.
We had PPD too. So, like, that was 2 semesters. The point is, for, like, at least here, the curriculum here, you practically take gen ed classes, all gen ed classes, fall and spring semester.
What do you mean? Like freshman year, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It depends on how you structure it. Like, that's usually what your advisor will tell you, or like they'll give you like a little paper.
Yeah.
That says, like, here's what you should do to graduate on time.
Yeah.
That little paper usually has you getting most of your gen eds out of the way.
Yeah.
In your first year or two. But yeah, what I really think, and two, if going back to the whole certificates in college thing, even worst case scenario, high school didn't prepare you or whatever, or you know what, you thought you knew what you wanted to do, you got to high school, you started learning these things and getting these certificates in, I don't know, nursing, and you find out, you're like, wow, you know what, I thought I was gonna like nursing. I even shadowed a dude in nursing, thought I really liked it, got here, started doing it, found out A, maybe I just wasn't up for the challenge, or B, I just don't like it, you know?
Yeah.
Either way, you have a physical piece of paper that says you applied skills, that you have skills in
that you
nursing.
Learn. Yeah.
That's its own little mini degree in itself.
Yeah.
That would have led to an actual degree that says you are a well-rounded nurse.
And it specifies, like, in that degree, it'll, like, specify, like, whether it's, like, really tiny in print or, like, you have to go through the school and ask, like, when you're looking at this person for a prospect, like, employee, it says, oh, it said that they got a degree in nursing and analytics. Like, what does that mean? So nursing and analytics, so they probably before that, like, the prerequisite is like nursing basic 101, and then it goes up to that, so they know how to, like, do this and that, and, like, someone can just know, going, okay, so, like, they want to come in and be, like, a business student because they already got, like, their degree, they went through everything through business, but they have a little bit of nursing background, and that's what we're looking for, someone that went through business but also has a little bit of nursing background. I think this person's perfect because literally the degree specifies everything, all the skills that they were taught.
Think about, like, and now this is similar to what we have going on in college now, where you can, let's just say you want to be a business person in the nursing field, right? You want to be a manager in a hospital or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe you can take some nursing classes and get a better understanding of what goes on in the nursing world. A lot of nursing classes, I'm pretty sure Wilkes have prereqs of, like, bio or, like, whatever it is. I think you should just straight up be able to go, hey, I want to try that class out. The university shouldn't give a single fuck because they're going to take your money regardless.
Yeah.
And then if you get the certificate, you can go and get more certificates and say, hey, look, I graduated. Here's my business degree. Here's all my certificates that make up said degree. Here are all the skills that prove that I am a well-rounded
and here's some extra
business
fucking
manager.
shit that I learned.
And also, by the way, I'm applying to this hospital. Check it out. I also know a little bit of what's going on in the nursing world, too.
Yeah, like, it's just like, and then I also have a little bit of bio because I felt like I was interested in bio. And then, at one point I did 3 classes of engineering and got 3 degrees from, like,
and it's so funny because the difference between, I took 3 nursing classes in college is so much different than saying, I have 3 certificates from so-and-so skills in nursing.
Yeah.
Right? 2 way different things.
Yeah. But, like, in that case, then, my opinion, with, like, those classes and everything, I feel like college would be, like, shorter in that case. Because, like, these classes, they sound like, since everyone would have, like, a capstone at the end, you would be getting so much, good, knowledgeable information that I guarantee you wouldn't have to have, like, 15 nursing classes. You would probably have, like, 10 or maybe, like, 8.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? Like, something, like, cool like that. And I think also, like, to go back on the thing, I think they should encourage more shadowing, and businesses, like, all over should encourage shadowees because, like, I think it would be cool.
Well, I mean, they take interns.
Yeah, but, like, the thing is, like, think about, like, how, like, you have to apply to interns and everything like that. And it's, like, one, you have to pay for it. It's not most interns are are not paid, and then you have to pay the school because you're going through the intern. Yeah, but, like, I'm saying, like, even if you're doing something like that, for example, like, imagine, I feel like you should be able to just, like, go to your advisor and go, hey, and your advisor is an advisor, not business advisor, not this advisor. I mean, they should be knowledgeable in most fields, but I feel like if, let's say, you walked up to them, you could be like, hey, like, I'm interested in, like, bio, like, can you get me, like, a shadow for a day? And you literally are just, it's on a weekend or something, you take time out of your own day, you schedule it. Like, that's you taking time out of your own day. That's not the school, like, taking any responsibility for it. And they go, yep, you're signed up for this day. And whether it's a holiday or whatever, and literally you go to this place, and let's say it's like, oh, it's a biologist, and they're talking and they're learning about plants, and you literally go and you can see what the fuck they are doing for a whole day with plants. Literally in the Air Force, no bullshit. Like, ROTC, they don't really show it that much that you can do it. But it is known that you can literally just go call up a base and literally be like, hey, do you have any intel officers that I can just go shadow? And they would be like, we'll get back to you. Yeah, we got some intel people. When do you want to come?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to find your own apartment. Yeah, you have to find your own ride there and everything. But you literally can just go there and show up, and they're just like, you have all this like thing making sure you're not like a terrorist or anything. And it just goes, hey, this person's going to shower you. Like, and then you can literally see what they... Imagine you can do that with anything you wanted.
That'd be nice. There are emerging businesses that are making those processes more readily available to like high school and college students, which I think is a good thing. I think it's definitely very needed. I'm also thinking too, in terms of the higher ed certificate thing that we talk about.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that.
It is such a good idea, low key. It's a good idea.
It's a good idea.
So pretty much, two things I'm going to say. First off, as the employer that is going to be hiring people with these certificate comprised degrees, you can then differentiate. If every higher university was to do this, you could say, all right, so this guy has an entrepreneurship degree from Wilkes, this guy has an entrepreneurship degree from King's, this guy has so-and-so certificates, this guy has so-and-so certificates, but they're slightly different.
Yeah.
But this guy has more stuff with analytics, and this guy has more stuff with accounting.
Yeah.
We're looking for an analytics guy. This guy has proved that he can do analytics.
And you can go in, and there's like we fucking have an iCloud. We can, this is just a theory, but I think all colleges could come together and create like a big cloud of just literally where you put all your fucking capstones. They could literally look you up, what school you're in, like, and like the student gives them like their number or like something that like it's like part of the certificate, and they can go click on the capstone and see you like your presentation on what was your thing.
That's not a bad idea.
And then it's just like a big hub of just like
in
stuff.
our PPD 301 class, we do like e-portfolios, which is pretty much just like you've got your resume, some samples of work that you've done, and like your work philosophy or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you can add other stuff too, right? So like I'll have stuff that I've done with like the music stuff, whatever, as well. Pretty much, I disagree that it should be one big database, because I would see that as something that would be vulnerable to abuse. But I think it would be a great idea to have all of your students come out of school with an e-portfolio.
Yeah.
And in their e-portfolio, I would put all the projects that I did in like capstones or whatever.
Yeah.
That say like,
this is the change.
Yeah. Exactly.
It literally like has like all
and that
50 or 60
and that way I can
done.
only sort of I give that to people, and people don't get that from me. They don't look up my e-portfolio site and find it.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I shared the link with you. You now have access to it, kind of thing. And that makes it just way less abusable.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's. I know I said a whole bunch of. Final thing.
Okay.
I know that there's chances of anybody of worth. No offense to our subscribers, but nobody of worth talking to in like a higher ed institution that would actually implement something like this, which would take years to do.
Yeah.
Because you have to revamp the way that your teachers are teaching.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
But you will have a way more quality education within your teachers and your students, a lot more collaboration, and you're going to be outputting way, way, way better things into the world than other universities. And whatever institution starts doing this first is going to create the new meta, and their shit's going to be on top before anyone else's.
They're going to be on top. They just have to do it at the right time, or have enough money to just keep
That's what I'm saying.
Putting effort into it, and then just being like, fuck you guys. And then other people are like, well, this is actually a good
listen,
idea.
if anyone from Harvard is listening to this right now, and you do this shit, you guys will be the top of the top.
Also, can I make
probably the U.S. and maybe the world.
An interjection real quick.
Yes.
Harvard, your school fucking blows dick. Not gonna lie. I think you guys are all very smart. I've been on Harvard campus. It's kind of weak compared to what I thought it was gonna be. But you were saying something about Harvard people.
Yeah, Wilkes' campus is way better, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. I'm just saying. I
watch
thought,
all the
I
Harvard
walked on,
kids
I walked on
violate us.
Harvard, and I was just like, okay,
You graduated
ready to
Harvard?
go. Yeah.
Oh, and you were like, wow, this is underwhelming?
Oh yeah.
That's
I was
offensive.
like, this is not cool at all.
Oh, damn.
I honestly thought MIT is really cool.
Oh.
What is it called? I think Penn State is 10 times cooler than fucking Harvard.
Penn State is just a beautiful campus.
No offense. Harvard is in a city, so it can't fucking
True.
like spread out like
True.
Penn State. But I just want to make that comment. You guys are smart as shit. I literally walked in there, and everyone, like, whether they were business or anything, and I was just talking, like, the students, they
I just felt inferior.
I felt inferior, but also I felt like I got smarter. Fuck
just
you
by
guys.
being there. Oh my god.
Like, I went there, and I was like, wow, I don't even go here, and I feel smart.
But yeah, that's what I think about the education system, both the public school system and the higher ed institutions.
Absolutely. I think, like, we covered both of our things. I think that's...
Yeah, I feel like we've been talking for a bit now.
Yeah,
I think this might be the time
close?
to...
We're gonna
it's
close.
the time to wrap things up.
Close. Wrap it up.
I like wraps.
Close.
Usually the chicken kind. Like some buffalo sauce on there.
My name is Santi, or you can call me Raphael, or Santi. Preferably Santi.
What are you doing?
We're wrapping it up.
I love wraps.
Jared's no longer with us. He's turned into a vegetable or something at this point.
They put vegetables on wraps. That's all I'm gonna say.
Bro, do you want to close it or what? Or do you want me to close it?
I mean, you can keep going. I'm interested to hear it.
Bro, I don't know how to close.
That's
Fuck
so
you.
awkward.
This is
all
awkward.
right. So, ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you so much for watching. Listen, we have a one deal on this podcast.
True. I forgot about that.
If you found any sort of value while watching us or listening to us, be sure to leave a like on the episode, share it with your friends. If we made you laugh, if we made you think, please at least leave a like. It sure helps us. Or don't.
Because this is a gold mine.
That's a fact.
You'd be spreading the gold, and then there won't be enough for you.
That's a good point.
You'd be spreading it out too much.
You're right.
What they hit was, this is it.
Don't tell anyone.
This is the pinnacle of human...
Maybe still leave a like, but don't tell anyone.
This is the pinnacle of human evolution. Us two.
I literally introduced us as your subpar host. You're like, we're the pinnacle.
We're the pinnacle of human evolution. Yeah,
But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. As always, helpful discussion is always appreciated in the comments, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.